Hey all, so in this Eternal Evolutions video, we're going to go through everything Deesa Caves related. So the boss in Deesa Caves is called Scion. The things we're going to crack out today is going to be why is Deesa Caves so important, what heroes to use, what the boss's skills are, the commanders that we should be using, the prototypes we should be using, and what sort of loot we actually get from Deesa Caves, the ultimate reason we're doing this. And then we're going to go through some trial and error as to what teams work against Scion. So Deesa Caves is the most important dungeon in the entire game. So apart from Ancient Altar. So Deesa Caves, what it does is it gives you equipment. The better equipment you have, the further in Deesa Caves you can get, and also all other aspects of the game. So yeah, early game you're really going to focus Deesa Caves. The other benefit is that early game you get heroes like Taylor, Sorietta for free. And if you have an affiliate code from a content creator, you also get artists, who's also a really viable option in this. So they're the few reasons that you're going to crack out Deesa Caves first, and you will progress through Deesa Caves faster than any of the other dungeons, as it's just how they kind of give you the champs in the game and what you need out of the game. So primarily, you just want to focus building champs that do multi-hit attacks. So again, Taylor, Sorietta, Emma. You don't want heroes that do slow single hits, like Oak and that sort of stuff, unless you really need someone to tank the front for you. So regarding the commanders, we'll go into them now. So there's only real two viable options if you're struggling to get through stages. The first one is Samadhi. Samadhi is built for attack speed champs. So in here, so it's not Samadhi. Oops. So the heroes that Samadhi will work with that are effective in Deesa Caves is Artis and Emma. And I've specified these two because you can get them free to play early on in the game in the first 2 weeks. And Emma, you can actually get free to play Immortal level. So, what does Samadhi actually do? So, when a hero has 300 or more attack speed, for every 2 basic attacks, the second basic attack has 390% bonus attack. If this effect is triggered when the hero has 500 or more attack speed, the attack is increased to 520%. Only one of these can be triggered at a time. So yeah, Emma's going to be pumping out a lot of attack speed once you get her towards the end game, especially when you get her in your Gluttony set. So Samadhi's really good, lots of hits coming out really quickly. Brynhild is more of your attack damage hero or commander, and what he's going to do is that if your heroes are in the back or middle row, if they hit the same target 3 times, they'll do an additional 370% of the hero's attack dealt to the target. So if you've got someone like Emma who can hit up to 11 times in an ultimate, she's going to be cracking out about an extra 1,000% of her attack as bonus damage. Between the two, there's not a great deal of difference in which one's better. But if you have one that has really good hero ultimate buffs in these 2 boxes, or if they're noticeably better stat buffs, then that's the one that you want to go for. So in my case, the best one that I have is Brynhild, because he'll give my hunters 7.5% attack, and anyone that I have in the front, and I actually use Daniel, he'll do that. And then if I have any sort of ones that do multi-hits like Taylor that need crit rate, there's a crit rate buff there, and on top of that as well, it's got Athena and Nautilus, both good champs for this boss. So that's this commander that you want to use. When we go into prototypes, I'm not going to go through the red prototypes. They're very hard to get, especially if you're free to play. But even if you pay a bit, like a low spend, it's still hard to get red prototypes, so we won't go through that. There's 3 classes of prototypes, tenacity and enlightenment. You're really just looking for the biggest stats. Unless you're struggling to survive, you'd want to choose a good enlightened one. But ultimately, you just want to find the highest rarity, going in order of red, yellow, purple, blue, and then finding the highest level. So for me, this is the best one. It only affects reassembled heroes, which are tanks, and I don't use them in Deesa Cave. So this one gives me my best stats. With Enlighten, if I was struggling to stay alive, I would choose a good healing item. Early game, this is a really good one. It's easy to get, and it gives you an extra 25% healing. Later on, you get Flashpoint, which is a bit better again. And because it's a higher rarity, the stats can be buffed up higher. So I've got 32k bonus health, as opposed to 21, so an extra 50%. And this one's down at 20, so again, this one's 50% better stats. The Dominator prototype, though, is where you actually want to put some effort in. So if you have a lot of characters that do multi-hit crits, like Soriata or Taylor, Praying Eyes is a really good option. When an allied energy hunter or assassin or vanguard hero inflicts crit with a basic attack, increase their attack by 12% for 6 seconds, and it can be triggered every 10 seconds. So down when it's maxed out, instead of it being 12% for 6 seconds, they get 36% attack for 6 seconds. And you've got about a 60% upkeep rate because it's got a 10-second cooldown on it. So that's really good for heroes that can crit. Vision Stone is really good, but it's an ultra rare one to actually get. And what it does is at the very first level, you get 12% bonus damage if the boss is or if the enemy is affected with a debuff. So if you chuck defense down, which is pretty much always what you want, every single hunter or energy hero will do an extra 12% damage. Once this is maxed out, it gets up to 36%. This one is actually personally my favorite because it's the easiest to get and it's really effective. So when an allied energy or hunter hero inflicts damage to the same enemy 3 times in a row with their skill, the damage received by that enemy is increased by 10% for 8 seconds with a 15-second cooldown. So you've got about a 50% upkeep rate with this one, and all you need to do is have one hero that can do a triple hit on the boss. Then your entire team is going to do an extra 10% damage at this level, or 25% damage once it's maxed out. So this is personally my favorite. One more that I can't really speak to is the Red Thorn, as it's also an ultra rare to get. I haven't pulled one yet. So when an allied energy or hunter hero inflicts damage to the same enemy 3 times in a row, they shall permanently gain 1% attack, up to a maximum of 15 times, basically. So this one builds up attack percentage over time for every 3 attacks. So if you had someone that came in and could do a 45 hit combo, they would max this out and gain an extra 15% attack for the entire match. So that's our prototypes. Now we're going to jump back into the actual Deesa caves itself and start going through the boss skills and the loot that you get. So the loot you get is over here. Like I mentioned, we're in here for the equipment. That's the most important part. From stage 10 onwards, you get your white gear. It's not guaranteed that you get white gear. You'll get white gear and mythic gear or red gear. You then get the metallized pieces. This is what you use to actually upgrade your gear. And the final one is the selectable faction recruit cards or shards. 60 of these shards equals 1 piece of food, basically. And you get to choose what faction the food comes from. So it's quite handy when you start to level up characters. So now we're going to go into the skills of Sierra Scion. So we're going to jump into 15. One thing to note is that Sierra Scion, stages 1 to 11, he doesn't get the healing bug, but from stages 12 onwards, he does get a healing bug. Because this account's quite end game, I can't put in more than 2 characters, or I can't show you the skills properly. But ultimately, if I was setting this up properly, I'd be using heroes like Taylor, Bot Mark 2, Emma, Artis, and you'd either choose another multi-hero player if you're quite endgame, or you'll just choose a healer if you need to try and sustain yourself. Again, the 2 types of commanders you're looking for are Brynhild and Samadhi. My Emma is so powerful that I like using Emma. Put her in the middle for the extra attack, and she has a +2 to her ultimate. Emma doesn't crit, so don't worry about that. That would be viable, but for me, Soaring Medallion is the one that I'm going to use. These ones here, I'm just looking for my best stats. And just to sort of rehash this as well, my best stats, everyone on my team will get 21,000 HP. Everyone on my team will get 32,000 HP. So this is better. So we've already got that attached. So that to me would be the best team that I could build right now. I probably could pull Mazrani out and put another high DPS or multi-hit player in here, like Daniel. And that would be sort of a dream team. But for this match, we're just going to chuck in. It is Boar because he's a very slow hitter, and Daniel because he will do enough damage to get me through. Actually, no, it's going to be Mazrani. Cool. All right, so now we'll start going through his skills. So up here you can check his skills. So he's immune to all crowd control effects. You can't stun him, you can't move him, you can't do any of that sort of stuff. Earth Blessing. So Serious Signs damage taken from basic attack is decreased by 50%. So don't expect to be doing a lot of damage to him with your basic attacks. Earth Shield. So this is his shield that he gets once he's taken enough damage, and that's triggered at these 3 lines here: 90%, 50%, and 10%. Basically, he hunkers down, gets a shield that you need to do at this level 22 hits to, and then once he's taken 22 hits, he'll become weakened. His next one is the Rock Bee bug, which I said only starts from stage 12 onwards. So when he loses his shield, so he gets you've hit it 22 times, he summons one Rock Bee. The Rock Bee will channel a skill, healing Serious Sign over time. You can use CC to stun the heal and delay it, or you can try and kill him really quickly. So he'll start off with this attack at the very beginning, and then every sort of 12 seconds, I think it is, he'll do an AoE attack that does 60% extra damage. And then Rock Throw, if you don't have anyone in melee range of him, he will throw a rock at them that does 1,000% of his attack damage. So you need to make sure you've got someone with some attack. All right, so we're going through this. Now he's just using his normal attack. You see the countdown for his jump attack is 4 seconds. He'll jump up and then he'll hit everybody on the map instead of just hitting one. Once he gets down to 90% HP, and this shield gets hit, he will trigger his shield, which means I have to hit it 22 times to take it out. This red ring, once it hits the white, he'll do an AoE attack, which will instantly kill your entire team, regardless of how tanky you are. So you need to make sure that you break that shield. I mean, I only had those 2 characters and I managed to get it from 22 to 3, so it's not impossible to do. But you do need to break that shield, or is this going to wipe your entire team out in one go? So now what we'll do is we will chuck in a stronger team and carry on to show you what the Rock Bee looks like. What I'll also do is I'll show you 2 ways to take care of the Rock Bee, because I can do that both in the same battle. So the Rock Bee will show up on the far right side of the screen down here. So what you can do is you either select someone who has an AoE skill that can land on it, or you select someone that has a single target that you can land on it that will just wipe it out, basically. The other one that you can do is heroes like Bailey. It's built into their AI that they will actually go and attack the bug first. So that's also another viable option. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop Daniel's ult so it attacks the boss to take down his shield. And also, if I take down fast enough, I'll start attacking the bug straight away. So you can see I'm attacking the bug straight away. I've killed it already. Now, notice that the bug's on its back. And so it'll take an increased amount of damage at this point. And also my ultimates will generate much faster while it's on its back. So you can see this is a steady, normal sort of pace to be building ultimates at. But once it's on its back, it's about 5 times faster. The other thing to note as well is that when his shield pops, you get your entire ultimate back in one go. So that's also good to know. So you can see that shield was actually much tougher than the first one. There was more hits required to destroy it. So it does get harder through the match as well. So we're just going to up the team a little bit harder again. And we will chuck Taylor and Bot Mark in here. This match is going to go quite quickly now because this is my endgame team. So Let's do that. So here we go. We're getting the shield right down. Put everyone on auto except for Emma so we can take out the bug. Actually, we'll do everyone except for Daniel so we can AoE it. Actually, there is one more tactic that you can use as well once you've got a tailor, and we'll show you that very soon. So Daniel's taking out the bug while we're still attacking the boss, so he's a very, very good option for doing this. The other thing to do is you actually move Taylor over to here, and in Taylor's AI, if the bug's closer than the boss, he'll actually attack the bug first. So all you have to do is move him once, set him back to auto, and you don't need to worry about the bug. He'll automatically get taken out. We're taking down the shield again. We can see the red ring going out towards the edge. Doesn't make it. Bug appears. Taylor will start attacking this bug very soon if the boss is still alive. No. So